All right, we made it to the end of our 7 habits. So they're also, I want to talk about how they're all connected, and you can kind of see the connections and why they are in the order that they're in. So there are 4 underlying principles to them. The first one is you have to have the will to change yourself. That means if you have something wrong in your life, you have to be able to admit it to yourself, and then you have to be willing to change it. And that can be really difficult. And it also can be hard to find exactly what it is. So talking about it with others can be great. Also reading about it, and just reading Stephen Covey's book is a great way to get started. But that's the first underlying principle, is the will to change yourself. The second one has to involve with the first 3 habits. And to remind you of those, number 1 is be proactive. Number 2 is begin with the end in mind. Number 3 is put first things first. Those 3 habits together will move you from dependence, which means relying on others and not being able to do stuff for yourself, towards independence, which means you're able to do things on your own. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do everything on your own, because habit 6 is synergize. But if you're doing those things, you're being proactive and not letting your emotions and your emotions and feelings control what you do. If you're putting first, beginning with the end in mind, you have a plan and you're making sure you're trying to execute that, and you're putting first things first, the things that are going to help you get to that end goal. If you're doing those, that's going to help you be more independent. So that's the second underlying principle, is moving from dependence to independence, and that's the first 3 habits. The next 3 habits are habits 4 through 6, and all of these are just as important as the others. Just to remind you, habit 4 is think win-win. Habit 5 is seek to understand, then be understood, and habit 6 is synergize. These will help you with your relationship building, and this could be with a coworker, this could be with your family, your brothers, your sisters, your friends. If you're doing all those things and you're thinking win-win, how is this going to benefit both of us? That's going to help build a positive, healthy relationship. If you're trying to understand others, that's going to make you understand better at work, or with a brother, sister, or mom, dad, whatever it might be. And then if you're synergizing, you're working together, you're going to be able to accomplish a lot more. Okay, we talked about how they say 2 plus 2 equals 22, and I know mathematically that doesn't make sense, but what they're saying is with 2 and 2 together, if you do it right, you're going to be able to accomplish a lot more, and it can equal 22 or 22 million or whatever it might be. So synergizing together. So principle number 3 is relationship building, and using the habits 4 through 6 to help you build your relationships. And then finally is the 4th principle, which goes along with habit number 7, and that is self-improvement and regeneration. This is to accomplish those long-term goals for the rest of your life and your long-term success. Without this one, you might be able to do habits 1 through 6 for a while, but if you don't rejuvenate and get that energy and constantly improve yourself and relax, you're going to get burned out, and then eventually you're going to fall back into those old habits. Okay, a habit is something that keeps on going. So if we can build good habits, it's going to have great outcomes for you. But if you practice those bad habits, that's where you're going to end up in not so great places. So you want to make sure you're doing all of those. So the 4 principles, again, is 1 is the will to change yourself. The second principle is moving from dependence to independence. And remember, that's habits 1 through 3. The third is building stronger and more positive relationships, and that's habits 4 through 6. And the 4th one is self-improvement and rejuvenation. So those are the 4 underlying principles that go along with the 7 habits. So a lot of times I like to do is watch this video, and then when I go back and rewatch the videos, I think, oh, all right, this ties into that, and you can start to see the connections. All right.